Hi guys, Danielle's Homemade Products. It is Thursday, October 5th. I'm getting motivation to go in and start sanding in the computer room. Um, but I saw a video this morning and it just kind of hit home, and I thought I would talk about it as well. I was watching Samantha from Happily a Housewife, and she was talking about how your to-do list can make it seem like you've got millions of things to do, and that your day is basically just a checklist, and that you're not really enjoying life, or you're not having time to relax or anything like that. And she was talking about how that there are times where she has lazy days, and everybody does, and that's not portrayed on YouTube very often, because seriously, if you're having a lazy day, it's kind of boring and nobody wants to watch that. So I get it. And how she was explaining it was just awesome, that you should give yourself a break, and it's okay to have those days. And it made me think, I do have, most of the time, a very long, or what appears to be a very long checklist. And I think I talked about this briefly in my cleaning cards video, about how I do break down my chores into little steps, and how that helps me feel like I've accomplished something if I'm having a bad day or a rough day, especially with the fibro. Sorry, I'll stop snapping my phone case. I'll get it out of my way. That would be called OCD and anxiety. I snap pens. If I have a pen, I'll click it. Yeah, I don't, it's just how I am. How I've always been. I'll play with the cap, pull it off, put it on. But anyway, squirrel, as I was saying in one of my other videos, easily distracted. So on days like this where I am easily distractible, where I find myself creating additional work because I've seen something and that is in my brain, and until I've done it, my brain won't let me won't let it go, basically, is the best way that I can think to describe it. And like I said, I've talked about this a little bit. Sorry, I am having a cigarette as I'm trying to finish waking up. I've already taken Sky to school. Another OCD moment with the hair. Sorry, I do that quite often too, which is one of the reasons why I don't leave my hair down very often, because I have a tendency of playing with it constantly. And it's kind of gross if you think about it. But anyway, one of the things that I do to help me, because I do have fibromyalgia, there are days where I have no energy. There could be days where I've slept 10 hours and I feel like the minute I laid down, my alarm went off. It does happen. And there's days where I feel like I have absolutely no energy. And there are days where in the morning I have the most energy, and then by the time Sky is ready to come home from school, it's like I need a nap. I'm exhausted at that point, and it's only 3 o'clock and I can't go to bed yet. One of the ways that I try to help myself with that and make it feel like even on my worst days, I'm still accomplishing something, even if it doesn't seem like much, is I do break down my chores into parts, into components, I guess is the best way that I can think to describe it. So instead of on my to-do list, just list ahead to delete a couple things. But instead of having on my list wash laundry, I break it down. I have it, or laundry day, I break it down into the washing of the laundry. And I don't necessarily do washing laundry and drying the laundry and then putting away, but I'll do like wash the laundry and then I'll do fold the laundry. And so I'll do washing and drying as one item and folding and putting it away as a separate item. That way, if I have a day where I'm just not having a cooperative body day, where my body just does not want to cooperate with what I want to get accomplished, then that way I can still feel like I've gotten something done instead of nothing, because we all feel that way at times as well. So this way I can, even if I don't necessarily get the laundry folded and put away the same day I wash and dry it, I've at least got something I can check off my list, instead of getting my anxiety up and feeling like I've done nothing. Or like I'll break it down by room, like you've seen on my cleaning card. So instead of vacuuming the entire house at one time, I'll vacuum the living room, or I'll vacuum Nana's bedroom, or I'll vacuum the middle bedroom. Those are the 3 rooms basically right now with carpet. So, or instead of, sweeping the whole floor, I'll I'll start at the entryway and I'll sweep the entryway floor. And okay, I can mark that one off my list. That way, if I do run into a distractible day or a day where I'm struggling with my hands, because it happens for me, especially if I've been pushing it too far the day before, my hands do swell and I have a hard time gripping at times. So if I'm having a bad hand day and it's hard for me to hold the broom for long periods of time, or my body is just in a lot of pain, I can still feel like I've gotten something done without the pressure of getting it all done at one time, because we do put a lot of pressure on ourselves to do that. To have our house clean immaculately, for it to be perfect 24/7, which reality is when you have kids, sometimes even without kids, it is impossible to keep everything clean 24/7 unless you don't live there. Unless you're never there. Then that way it does make it a lot easier for it to stay clean without you having to put the effort in. But on days where I am just struggling to get through the day, I can still feel like I've accomplished something if I am able to check off at least one or two items on my list because I'm having a bad fibro day, or I've pushed it too much the day before and I'm just in too much pain to do anything extra, but maybe the basics. Or when it feels like just walking to the bathroom to use the restroom is going to take a lot more energy and effort than I have at that moment. So this way I can still feel like I've accomplished something and not feel like I've just been lazy all day long. Because it's not necessarily about being lazy. It's about being able to manage my pain, manage the fibro flares and everything else. So yes, there are some days where I definitely do push it way beyond what my body can tolerate, but I pay for it later. And that means then that the next day or two, sometimes 3, I am struggling just to get basics done because I have overworked my body, I've pushed it too hard, and it is pissed at me. So that's how I make it a little bit easier on myself so that I can keep my anxiety and my OCD as under control as I can. And whatever I don't accomplish on my quote unquote to-do list, we'll move to the next day and it'll still be there tomorrow when it needs to get done. If it's something that, needs to get done immediately, that's one thing. And then I push myself and get through it. But if it's something that is not necessary, it's not an absolute need right this minute, it can hold. It will still be there tomorrow when it needs to get done. And we need to give ourselves permission to allow that, because there are days that we need to do that just for our own health, our own sanity, and the sanity of our families. So that being said, how do you work your to-do list? Let me know in the comments below.